Warriors 4/13/2021. Your life as a crypto investor will never be the same. Your life will never be the same from this day forward. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And what becomes your unconscious activities becomes your reality. So if you don't understand that, you feel like your life is out of control. It's usually your finances, your relationships, you're stuck in a job just over broke. But I'll tell you what, Warriors, you are not fully to blame right now. I'll tell you why. Because you were born into a system that was teaching you how to be a worker, your school system. Since you were an itty bitty baby, you've been predictive programmed through TV, through media, through news to believe a certain way. And the only way to break free from this just over broke paradigm, from this robotic paradigm, that you have to go to school, get a job, get a 401k, get a safe, cushy job, get your insurance that you can get laid off from, and you're probably going to get laid off from in the next 10 years because technology is going to take over. Your whole world's about to change, Warriors. And until you wake up to that, until you understand that, you're going to be off of the freight train that has left the station. Now, I believe in God. I follow the life of Jesus. I'm non-religious. I love everybody. Now, listen to me for just a second. Today is a critical day. Now, I'm going to take it from a different perspective. My YouTubes are a lot more boring compared to other YouTubers. I'm not going to tell you you're going to make 10x on a coin or 100x. That's awesome. I have technical analysis team. I don't do any technical analysis. I have a team that does that. I focus on fundamentals and understanding economics and where we're heading in the economy. That's how I do my crypto investing, and that's how I exit the market to hedge myself against the collapse of the US dollar. Because I know in history, every single fiat currency, every single government issued currency has collapsed. Just like Venezuela right now, their whole economy has collapsed. And do you know what they're bartering with? Silver. Okay, so think about that. If your dollar collapsed, what game plan do you have? Probably zero. Most people are asleep. So I'm going to walk through, but I need you to stay till the end because I'm going to show you why today is so unbelievably important for the crypto space. And those of you who keep saying, am I too late? You are right on time, Warriors. Yes, maybe you missed the 13 cents XRP, 17 cents XRP. Maybe VeChain, you missed it under a penny. But there's still cryptocurrencies that are still undervalued dramatically. And so you were early. Imagine being around when Amazon was created. Imagine being around when Apple was created. Imagine being around when the internet was created. But also imagine having a strict game plan so you know the game so you can't be played. Because there's a lot of people that made a ton of money in those times, but they came crashing down the back end. Okay, so let's kick this up. So back in January 6, 2021, this is pretty cool to see because this is an exciting thing that they explain, but it's not good. And I'm going to take you through the dollar. The dollar dropped pretty dramatically in the last 3 weeks. I'm going to talk about the inverse relationship between inflation and interest rates, and then we're going to talk about cash is trash, and then I'm going to share with you why today is so unbelievably important. So cash in circulation is soaring, and that usually means good things for the economy, right? So that usually means when cash is soaring, this is January 21st this year, that means that the economy is soaring, right? So currency increased last year at a pace not seen since World War II. Big increases in demand for cash usually signals a turn in the economic cycle that leads to booms, okay? The amount of currency in circulation soared last year at a rate unseen since World War II, providing that historically has been a good sign for the economy. Amid massive influx of cash and fiscal monetary authorities, total currency in circulation, 2.07 trillion by the end of the year, according to the Federal Reserve data. The market at 11.6 gain from the year earlier, and its biggest one-year percentage increase since 1945, as the nation was coming out of the World War II military-industrial complex took hold. Military-industrial complex took hold. A major reason was 2.2 trillion in stimulus bills the government passed in May, along with Federal Reserve digital money printing that saw the central bank balance sheet swell by more than 3 trillion Fathom this. Do you know how much money that is? $3 trillion. Huge demand from foreign central banks has been a significant component in the current run. Also, a need for cash on hand during the times of uncertainty increased the level. Times of economic peril have historically coincided with rise of currency circulation. Conversely, when all the cash builds up, it tends to look for places to go. Key word. Lending to economic boom times. Okay, so now you have more cash than ever rushing into the system. That usually means good things for the economy. What I'm telling you, Warriors, is they are using this as a catalyst to collapse the economy, to bring in the new fourth industrial revolution, quantum financial system, zero carbon by 2050, your new economic system. And this isn't over, Warriors. People that keep saying that, this is the biggest bull run in history. I'm preparing for 2025. That's what I'm teaching my Warriors. Is yes, we're going to make a ton of money this bull run, but we're going to have a strict exit strategy to get some out so that we can hedge. Okay, so we can have silver, hedge against the 401k, hedge against the deflating dollar, and then we got to get ready for 2025. That's when the real money is going to be made. Imagine the dot-com boom where people went up and they came crashing down the back end, and some of the richest people in the world were the people that caught the uptrend, okay? So now this was on April 12th, 2021. Now I know this isn't exciting stuff. It's not telling you that ADA is going to go to $9 or Bitcoin's going to go to 300,000. But you have to know the game, Warriors. When you know the game, you're going to make better decisions. You won't be like a leaf in the wind going back and forth in between cryptos. Dollar drops to 3-week lows after inflation data. The U.S. dollar fell to a 3-week low on Tuesday after data showed inflation making strong gains in March. Keyword inflation. Okay, through the rise was not expected to alter the Federal Reserve's commitment to keeping interest rates at rock bottom levels for the year to come. So I'm going to explain this. Remember, I showed you that Jerome Powell made an announcement last year. I was like, this is catastrophic. He said, we are going to support the economy through the C word, through the pandemic. We are going to make interest rates flexible. They also raised the capital requirements or lowered the capital requirements for banks. Banks operate on a fractional reserve lending system, so they lend out your money. They don't have to have as much on capital now. And then the Federal Reserve went into a flexible inflation rate, meaning they have to just hit a target of 2% within a reasonable amount of time. So what they're going to do is they're heating up the inflation. That means your products and services are more expensive. Lumber has doubled within the last 90 days. Your gas has gone up within the last 90 days. But your US dollar in the last 3 weeks value has gone down. So now you have a printing machine. They get the money first. They put it into the market. They make their money off it. It cantaloupe effects down to you by the time you get it. This is exactly what I've been telling you. Everything's coming true that I told you. The cantaloupe effects down to you by the time money gets to you. It's less value. So last 3 weeks, money is seen US dollar is seen at all-time low. As your inflation goes up, your gas prices are going up. The money is going down, the value of the money, okay? Now let's talk about the inverse relationship. I will get to, I promise, why this day is so important, and this is a historical time right now. It's actually, all this stuff is on my board, which is absolutely crazy, on my vision board. What is the relationship between inflation and interest rates? So this is really important for you to know for your future, okay? Inflation and interest rates are often linked and frequently referenced in macroeconomics, the big picture, okay? That's what we're talking about right now. Inflation refers to the rate at which prices and goods and services rise. The U.S. interest rate, which is the amount charged by a lender to borrow, is based on the federal funds rate that is determined by the Federal Reserve. So that's Jerome Powell. The Federal Reserve System is a central bank of the U.S. It is sometimes just referred to as the Fed. The Fed attempts to influence the rate by inflation by setting and adjusting the target for federal funds rates. This tool enables the Fed to expand or contract the money supply as needed, which influences target employment rates, stable prices, and stable economic growth. I'll try to explain this as best I can. So as they lower interest rates for a home loan, right? So if your home loan interest rates are lower than they've ever been, right? So that encourages you to go out into the economy and buy a home or buy a car or buy something tangible. Well, who builds that? There's a builder who builds a house. There's a person who sells a house. There's an electrician. So every time you put $300,000 of debt into the system, that creates $300,000 of salaries into the system. So they're keeping interest rates low so that you will buy stuff. They're also giving you stimulus money so that you'll stimulate the economy. And at the same time, they're raising inflation. So now you're putting salaries into the economy by getting debt, and they're slowly, without you noticing, are lowering or raising the prices. Your money is less value because the prices are higher. Okay, and so now your prices are higher. You're buying more stuff because the interest rate is low, and you don't even notice it, but you're actually pumping and fixing the economy that they broke. Okay, so key takeaways. There's a general tendency for interest rates and rate of inflation to have an inverse relationship. Okay, so one goes down, the other one goes up. The U.S. Federal Reserve is responsible for implementing the country's monetary policy, including setting federal funds rates. So the Fed, Jerome Powell, manages interest rates, and he manages inflation through interest rates. In general, when interest rates are low, the economy grows and inflation increases. So the lower your interest rates are, remember, the more your stuff is going to cost. Conversely, when interest rates are high, the economy slows and inflation decreases. Okay, so now that we know a little bit, I'll get to the point where 413 is the biggest date. So we've showed this video before, but I want you to understand what he is saying right here, okay? So Ray Dalio is one of the top investors. Top investors. The guy is a genius when it comes to the economy. Listen to what he has to say. We've watched this video quite a while. It was last year.
David Tepper had texted into the show on Friday and suggested right now that you have to be in the market full on. And so the question is whether everybody jumps on the train, everybody gets in full on, and then the problem arises that you're talking about.
Most likely.
But then the question is when do you jump off the train?
But also the question is, what do you jump into when you jump off the train? And the issue is you can't jump into cash. Cash is trash, okay? Cash is that they're going to, because they're going to print money. What do? You get out, okay? So cash is not going to be
So what
good.
do you do?
So what you have to do is
I've been following this for a long time, Warriors, for a long time, and I've believed this narrative for a while from these people who understand economics. And I've said cash is trash for a long time, Warriors, and I set my portfolio up, and now what's happening right now is even overnight, last night, our portfolios are exploding. And I've told you guys April is going to be massive for over a year now. I felt it in my sacral. I didn't know that Coinbase was going to IPO this month. I didn't know that maybe a Bitcoin ETF was going to launch. I did know some biblical stuff happening within the 20th to 30th. That's when Moses parted the Red Sea. These are some things that I feel in my sacral. I'm guided by God into this stuff, Warriors. I'm just being honest. If that turns you off, then whatever. Say what you mean in the comments. Just don't say it mean. But let's continue. Okay, so now you know what is going on, right? You got stimulus money being printed. Your prices of goods and services are going up. Your interest rates are going down. Your country is fucked. Excuse me, my language. But the GDP, we can't even. If America walked into a car dealership, we get declined for a loan. Our debt-to-income ratio is negative. We are in a horrible position. They're trying to fix the broken machine without you noticing. Okay, so why are people rushing into cryptocurrency? Okay, so crypto, long and short, Bitcoin is more than a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against crazy. Okay, now when we say Bitcoin, think about the whole crypto space. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins as well. But people say Bitcoin in the news because everybody knows Bitcoin. As a year that felt like decades on speed starts to draw to a welcome close this last year, some of us are starting to try to make sense of the timeline and narratives of the events. Most of us, myself included, are failing. And in itself, it's an intriguing narrative that sheds light on Bitcoin's rally. Bear with me while I try to explain. On the other hand, we have seen rapid rise in Bitcoin price I can't even pronounce that. Sorry about that. On the other hand, we have conflicting economic and social trends. We have blind faith in the power of the V word combined with rejection of the science of a V word transmission, monetary policy designed to encourage lending combined with banks that are willing to do so, growing interest in the value of emerging markets combined with escalating risk of default, widening inequity combined with greater power of process. I could go on. So what he's saying is, we have a system right now that literally the stock market is overvalued. People are believing in the stock market, are pumping their money into a stock market. It is impossible for your stock market to be this high. It's this high because they're printing money. They're keeping it propped up. That's the only way it can be this high. It's not because companies are growing. It's not because companies are expanding. Companies are about to collapse except the tech companies. So these stocks are so overvalued right now. Look up the Warren Buffett indicator around stock markets. You'd be shocked. These conflicting forces and uncertainty swirling around should encourage us to look closely at prevailing narratives. Yet those who of us are watching the growing institutional Bitcoin markets have accepted without question the assumption that Bitcoin's inflation head qualities are behind it. Okay, so what they're saying is, where are people moving to? Where did Warren Buffett go to? He moved out of bank stocks, increased in Bank of America by 10%. I'll explain that later. He moved into gold mining. The guy who said, Warren Buffett said, gold miners are gold bugs. He hated gold miners, and now he's in gold mining. Why would he do that? Ray Dalio is saying cash is trash. Michael Saylor moved almost all his assets into Bitcoin. Tesla moving their assets into Bitcoin. Thousands and thousands of companies are now moving over. Goldman Sachs opened up their cryptocurrency trading platform. Bank of America owns most cryptocurrency patents. JP Morgan Chase, your bank, has its own cryptocurrency platform and coin. Wells Fargo invested $5 million in a cryptocurrency platform. How much do you need to hear? Well, here's what you need to hear. This is what you need to hear. And a lot of you are going to miss the boat. So right now, today, Coinbase is going to list an IPO on the stock market. So Bitcoin has allowed a different kind of investor to build wealth, says crypto strategist. Bitcoin has created a lot of wealth for people who aren't part of the traditional, amen, and are not money managers. Long crypto bull demeanors told Crypto Tuesday. So the comments came one day after Coinbase's highly anticipated debut on the NASDAQ. The company's direct listing is going to mint hundreds, if not thousands, of millionaires and billionaires. I told you guys this. Longtime crypto bull said that Tuesday, the Bitcoin's ascent has built wealth for different kind of investors, us uncommon 1%. The comments on CNBC Squawk Box came out a day before the major milestone of the crypto world is scheduled to take place. Coinbase NASDAQ debut today. Here's what's great about it for me. Bitcoin has created a lot of wealth for people who weren't part of the traditional financial systems, weren't money managers, said Demores, the chief strategist officer at CoinShares, a digital asset investing firm. She said she got into Bitcoin when it was around $150 per coin on Tuesday. It yet hit another record high of above $63,000 as investors awaited Coinbase direct listing. The digital currency exchange has public debut today, right now, is going to mint hundreds, if not thousands, of millionaires and billionaires who all love crypto and probably going to take some of their listing proceedings and continue to invest in crypto ecosystem. Now, Warriors, this is a day, and this is a historical day. I'm so honored to be a YouTuber to actually put this out onto the interweb that'll be out there forever. Okay, now I'll share with you guys. You're going to have your financial advisors telling you that crypto's a fraud. At what point are you going to turn away from that narrative and say, listen, what are you selling me? Is this benefiting you or is it benefiting me? And the banks are shitting their pants right now. JP Morgan said it. They should be scared. He said it himself. They should be scared shitless of fintech companies. The reason why is because you can become your own banker. You got long-haired hippie guys like me with a cut-off shirt that know more about economics than most people and are sharing this information with people and helping people become thousandaires, and some people in the last week have become millionaires in our Warrior Academy. So Warriors, you have a decision to make right now, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I'm going to keep preaching this. I don't give a shit if you get on this train or you get off this train. But I'll tell you what, Warriors, we are on this train going full speed towards generational wealth. And you have two choices. You can get on board and go on it for the ride of your life, or you're going to get ran over by it. But every single person is going to have to get on the train by 2030 and 2050, Warriors. You are not too late. You are way too early. And this is your time to shine, Warriors. So if you want information on how we built an ecosystem of over 1,200 warriors, 15 different countries, and how we support each other through the quantum financial system, but take away crypto, what I teach you as well is the mind, subconscious mind programming in One Wealth, 120-day warrior challenge, workout, exercise. If you don't have your gut right, you don't have your mind right, you're never going to get it right, Warriors. We also teach crypto, access to my portfolio, a very strict exit strategy. If you actually plug yourself into the system, you're going to completely change your life, Warriors. I am not a financial advisor. It is not financial advice. I'm just documenting my journey in the quantum financial system. Click the link down below, and you can join the Private Warrior Academy and change your life by 2050. Warriors, rise! Let's go.